Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and this is Richard. I have a small handsaw and a popcorn bucket. I'm going to be cutting some wood. I'm going to make sure that it's about the same, just slightly smaller than what will fit in here. I'm going to fill it up, and I'm going to make some char. So using this brush pile, wood that we have in here, some of this wood, and whatever else wood I can find out in the woods. Alright, so let's add a dull, rusty axe to the mix and see if this will help. Yeah, I think that'll help. This seems to work. This will work right here. Stick them right here. There we go. Close, doggy. Awesome. There we go. And there it goes. There we go. Yeehaw. Alright, there we go. Yeah, probably won't finish off my bucket, but yeah, it's a little long too. And we'll set that there. Stick that in there. I would rather them be a little small than too big. There we go, right there. Good job. So I have this big bucket that was a popcorn tin. And I've got it full of the wood that we just chopped. Here's the lid. I just poked a hole in it. You see there's a hole there. And it will just fit on top. Nice and snug. There we go. Hold on. Very snug. Got the wood in there. And it just sits here. And lid goes on it just like that. Now, here is a small tin. Let me get this out of the way. This is starting to bug me. There we go. Here is a cookie tin from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those Danish style butter cookies. I love the cookies, but I really love the tins. So as you can see, this has been used. It's the same process. Just stick a hole in it, and the lid. I have 3 lighters, and I have a bunch of char that I made that's in there. Now this is an old shirt. It was a thin shirt. It was like a dress shirt. That's what I had available to me at the time. And all I did was the same thing. I cut the shirt up into pieces. I stuck it into the tin, and then I set it in the fire with the lid on it. Now what will happen is all the moisture and everything will get sucked out of the hole, and you will be able to tell once the smoke stops. There'll be a little bit of flame there, and you'll be able to tell when it's done, and you just pull it out, and then you have char. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Let me get these lighters back in here before I lose them. You do the exact same thing with this big one and the wood. So let's start a nice little bonfire and get this going. I went ahead and placed a rock up on top of it because the gas pressure inside was actually causing the lid to, there we go, it was causing the lid to come off a little bit. Had to keep the lid on. Now as you can see that smoke right there? This is what we want. We want that smoke to come out. Now when the smoke stops coming out and it comes out with a little billow of flame, or the smoke completely stops, we'll know that it is charred, completely charred. That'll take a little while. It's starting. You can see right there. See, it's starting because of the really white smoke is being pushed up out of there. There we go. There you can see it. See that smoke, that white smoke coming up in that little funnel? Nice little there. Nice little tornado of white smoke. Alright, so it's still sitting over there, and I still see some white smoke billowing out of there, so we're still good to go. Regardless of how this batch turns out, I now know that with that tin I'm going to have to set rocks on it before I place it into the fire, or put the fire around it. It's just going to require that to keep the lid down. If the lid pops off, or if oxygen gets around into that lid through the seal there, it will just burn everything that's inside of it. The whole point is that small hole is the only place that the gases can escape. So, and it's still looking good. It's still still blowing out really nice white smoke. So I don't think that the flames got in there and tore up the wood. I think that it's going to be some decent char, but I don't know yet. But I do know that the next time I do this, I'm going to, right now we had a huge pile of wood, scrap wood from the downed tree and the yard and everything already in the pit. So we had to burn that regardless. Hopefully the next time, before we put wood out there, I can set the tin in the center with the wood in it and then build the fire around that tin, so that, and place the rocks on top of the lid so that I don't have to worry about that. But I do with what I've got, and I use what I have the way I have it and the way opportunity gives me to use it. So that's how that happens. So let's turn this back around and take a look at this again real quick, and we'll see how that's going. So there we go, and as you can see, the white smoke is still billowing out. So that's actually a good sign that it is still charring and not just burnt. So we will have to check that out. I'm not going to throw any more wood on it, and I'm not going to burn it anymore. There should be enough of heat and fire there to finish this off. And we're just going to let that sit there until it completely cools down. And once it completely cools down, we will check it out, and we will see if we have any decent char to use for the oven. Alright, so the sun is going down, and I could let this sit out here for 2 or 3 more hours to cool down, but if I do that, then I won't be able to video it out here tonight. I'll have to wait until tomorrow, and it's done, or it's done as it's going to be, and I'm very impatient. So let's move these rocks. Well, it's definitely a lot lighter. I'm a little concerned. Whew. Hey. All right, so here's the lid. I'm having difficulty seeing if you can see that because of the sun. But that turned into some really nice char. So let me get a piece of it out here. Look at that. There we go. So that turned into some really good char. Get that lid back on it. Alright, so that did turn into some really decent char. It did not burn like I was worried that it might, simply because I'm going to have to set some rocks on that, on the top of that, because if I don't, oxygen will get in there and it will burn it. So instead of just charring it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this up towards the front, let it sit and cool down, and tomorrow, when we get a little more time and when the sun comes back out, we will look at it. We'll break a piece open, we'll just check it out, and then I'll show you how we're going to use it. So it's the next day, and here's the charcoal up here in this bucket. Now here's some charcoal briskets that you buy at the store, and they come in this nice little, you know, chunky piece, and those are good to use, but they cost me money. And if and when, I shouldn't say if, but I'll be generous, if and when I need to start living this way permanently and without the ability to purchase things, that's not going to work. So we have this. There we go. Some really nice char in there. So just grab this piece right here. Alright, so we have this here. This is a wonderful piece of char. Let me break this so you can see. There we go. Oh, nice. Look at that. Oh, that is so good. That is freaking awesome. So instead of using the charcoal that you purchase at the store, yeah, I see I still left a little bit of charcoal in there. Let me take care of that real quick, and then I'll get right back here with you. We have this, and we just set this charcoal in there. And we do the same thing. We just light this, and we use this. So we will be making something here soon, and I will be using this charcoal. But right there is a perfectly good example of being able to make char and being able to use it in the same way that you would from purchasing it from a store. This way it doesn't cost me anything. All it really costs me is starting a fire and heating up the wood and creating a bucket of charcoal like this. So very, very nice. Look at this. Look at that. Fantastic pieces of char. So I will be gaining some sort of bucket or something that I can store this char in, because I am going to be making some more. So and this is something that I'm going to have to do regularly and consistently if I continue to use it instead of purchasing char from a store. We will see how it goes, and as long as I am able and capable of having convenience of being able to purchase this stuff at the store, I will continue to do so. I'm not going to separate myself from a reliable and easy source of anything just because, but I am making sure that when those reliable sources disappear, that I am able to maintain survival for myself and for those that I love and depend on me. So again, so there you go. So that is making charcoal. Thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. Enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.